Africa is rich, but Africa is not structurally wealthy.
Value addition, my favorite. Africa is rich in resources, yet too often sends them abroad unprocessed, along with the jobs, skills, and value that belong here at home in Africa. This must change. Why export iron ore when we can export steel? Africa sits on over 20% of the world's iron ore reserves, and the quality, as we all know, is between 64 and 67 Fe iron content, which is the highest anywhere in the world. Why export crude oil when we can power industrial ecosystems? Industrialization is no longer aspirational. Africa has over 30% of the world's minerals, but adds little value. So when raw materials leave without transformation, value lives with them. So if Africa is to grow at scale, it must shift from commodity exports to integrated industrial value chains.
We're watching what Abdul Samad Rabiu is saying with respect to value addition in this CEO forum in Rwanda. Okay, and one of the things I realized is when he was explaining about value addition, he made a statement. He said, "Here is my favorite." His speech with respect to value addition, sincerely speaking, is beyond business. It's not discussing based on economic sovereignty. It's discussing with respect to wealth retention. It's discussing with respect to industrial power. It's discussing with respect to the future of Africa. That deserves a salute from Abdul Samad, chairman of BUA. It shows his passion for his country, proves his passion, his love for his continent. Okay, for a businessman to be talking about economic sovereignty, wealth retention, and see, if you are an investor in Africa, you are a diaspora, you are a high net worth individual, this speech is signaling, okay, is a signal to wealth direction. Okay, what is he saying in essence with respect to value addition? He's saying practically that he said Africa is rich, but Africa is not structurally wealthy. Why is Africa rich? Africa is rich with respect to resources. Africa is rich with respect to raw material, but Africa does not know how to translate, does not know how to add value to those raw materials, to those agricultural products, in order for it to become structurally wealthy. That is what Abdul, okay, was saying with respect to value addition. Okay, he's saying that in order for us to be structurally wealthy, we need to translate, we need to add value, okay, through engineering, through technology, through logistics, into this raw material, into this agricultural products, okay, into these resources. Then we can become wealthy. In essence, countries that add processing, that has manufacturing, that has branding, they are the ones that will become wealthy. What was he saying? He's saying that we only export raw material, and we exporting raw material means that we can only have income. Okay, because when you send those raw materials out, okay, the only thing Africa benefits is income. But when those raw materials are being branded, when they are being processed, okay, it becomes a wealth, added value wealth. So our raw material is only giving us income, but when they export it back, it becomes value added wealth. So what's he saying? He's saying that we Africans, we need to wake up. We need to wake up in the sense that we need to start adding value to our resources. We need to start adding value to our raw material. We need to start adding value to our agricultural products. That is when we can be wealthy. That is when we can be structurally wealthy. That is why I said this is a wealth signal for both high net individuals, investors in diasporas, okay, Nigerian diasporas abroad. This is a wealth signal, okay, in which is revealing to us, in order for us to be wealthy, everything we have with respect in Africa, we need to make sure everything is turned to value added wealth in Africa. We should stop exporting, okay, we should just sending them out, okay, as resources. We should start exporting as raw materials. Okay, so what is the real estate intelligence in this? The real estate intelligence in this is, see, the wealth that respect to real estate might not be luxury houses any longer, but it's going to be industrial adjacent real estate. For example, when processing starts happening in Nigeria, in Africa, when branding starts happening in Africa, when technology starts happening in Africa, what are the things that are going to happen? There are going to be houses, executive houses, staff houses, warehouses, different kinds of houses that satisfy industry. That means at that level, okay, industrial real estate will be at boom. That is why I always say those who care with respect to real estate investment, prescription without cost examination, proper diagnosis of your purpose, of your want, of your budget, okay, of your investment, of your tolerance, risk tolerance, of your lifestyle, okay, of your work standard will not satisfy your investment need. That is why I always advise those who care to listen, click on the REDOC Diagnose session in my bio. come for diagnosis. Let's have conversation so that we can know where to position you. We don't just prescribe, we diagnose you first. Then we give you the best prescription that will satisfy your real estate need. My name remains Bash of REDOC Homes. Okay, click on the link in my bio